Well, hello, hello. I'm Valerie Turner. This is Benedict Turner, and we're the Piedmont Blues acoustic duo coming to you live from New York City. I'm Valerie Turner. This is Benedict Turner, and we're the Piedmont Blues acoustic duo coming to you live from
Where's
New York
that
City.
volume? I have a volume echo here.
Where's that volume?
I have. Okay, sorry about that. The echo is gone. We want to welcome you to the 2021 Mississippi John Hurt online concert series, where a new and exciting concert streams onto the Mississippi John Hurt Foundation's Facebook page every Saturday during the month of October.
This is the third concert in the series, and the artists presented so far are Piedmont Blues.
That's us.
Yes. Andy Cohen. In case you've missed those concerts, they've been archived on the Facebook page of the Mississippi John Hurt Foundation. Okay. How about a song?
Well, okay, let's give a short song. That was our version of a tune called Buck Dance, and it was in the repertoire of Mississippi John Hurt. We also added some touches from the Brownie McGee version, which was called Buck Dancer's Choice. So later this month, we'll introduce you to John Tavius Willis and Phil Wiggins, but tonight's artist is Alan Lighty, and we'll get him on screen in a moment. First, we want to remind you that this concert series is supported and sponsored by the Mississippi John Hurt Foundation, which is a 501c3 nonprofit. The foundation appreciates donations through PayPal at paypal.me/MS John Hurt Foundation. And for your convenience, this link is listed in the live stream description, and it's also floating around there in the comments. And we encourage you to donate if you can. These much-needed funds help with the preservation and restoration of John Hurt's home, as well as the St. James Church, where he worshipped.
Tonight's artist is Alan Lighty. Alan is a multi-instrumentalist songwriter, and his first love has always been Americana music, with focus on country blues guitar.
His two main influences have been Mississippi John Hurt and Reverend Gary Davis, two very different country blues artists from the same era. And it will be interesting to hear how these early blues giants have influenced him.
Mary Frances Hurt is the granddaughter of John Hurt and the founder of the Mississippi John Hurt Foundation. She's here to help us welcome Alan Lighty. They're both in the virtual green room, so let's get them out.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's ask them both to unmute and to start their video so that we can all be here as one big happy family. Okay, they're popping in, and we've almost got them all here. Mary is
I think you can
going
hear
to
me.
start her video. We can hear and see you, Alan. You're good.
Beautiful.
And just waiting. Okay, there she
There
is.
you are. Hello.
Hey,
Well, it's so great
hello.
to see all of you here at the same time. So Alan, you've been a longtime friend of the Mississippi John Hurt Foundation, haven't you?
Yes, I have, and I mean it's been we were talking earlier, but I think it's been about a decade or so that I've known Mary, and I knew of the foundation. That's actually how I got in touch with Mary in the first place. I think was through the foundation webpage, and her cell number was on there, and I just and gave her a call and got the address, and I think her address might have actually been on there a decade ago. So I'm not thinking that's the way to go today, but yes, that was. But it's been a long time. But I mean, I've been in love with Mississippi John Hurt's music, say 1970ish. You know, is when I started to really get into the country blues and stuff. And I like to say it's like the folk revival. Like we were too young for the real folk revival, but it kind of took place again, you know, with a lot of people, at least where I grew up, and I know other places too.
Well, Mary, you know, the way that Alan found you is the same way that Ben and I found you. We did a Google search when we were passing through Mississippi, and your phone number was right there, and it said, call this number to get access to the museum. And we called it, and we spoke to you for that. That was our first phone conversation.
That's right.
Yes, and it's a pleasure meeting you guys too, and it's just been just really wild, and I kind of. I like that personal down home touch, you know, and I know that's the way that John was, and so because he was a very public person, and because I want to represent him well, my phone number is not sacred, and I want people just like you to come and just and to call me and to really get to know that through the Mississippi John Hurt Foundation, Daddy John's spirit still is very much alive.
Well, how about when we called you and just showed up on your doorstep?
Hey, that's the way it's done. Come on down.
Well, yeah. So, well, let's see now. Alan, you mentioned to us that when you visited Avalon, that it was kind of a life-changing experience for you.
Absolutely. I highly recommend it for anyone who's likes John's music, you know. And I mean, just to be able to, it's kind of like taking a step back in time, you know. And when I, you know, first, like you can kind of see these records are behind me, but I mean, that was a big deal for us when we were young to go to the store. I believe it was Kmart. They had a big record section. One section was on blues. They had the little tags, blues and you know, folk music or whatever, and just collecting those albums or just finding a new album or waiting. And it was kind of like, well, we knew about Avalon, but we really didn't know about it. And then when I got a chance to go down for the festival, and hopefully next year, you know, we might be able to have a festival live down there. But it just really fulfilled a lot. It just was a very special moment to be able to play there, to be able to just, you know, all the people there together that, you know, on the same page, so to speak, and to meet Mary in person. I mean, it was very moving, and also to go, you know, to the grave site, you know, and these are the things we're trying to preserve. You know, we want to preserve the foundation's legacy through the museum, through the church, and through the grave site, and just keep it going, you know, forever.
Yeah, so Mary, what do you think? Should we get Alan going with some music?
Oh, I would love it. And Alan, thank you so much for being a part of this wonderful tribute. And I know Daddy John is pleased, and I know that I'm thrilled to death and excited. And I hope everyone out there are excited as well.
Well, I hope I can play some tunes for you and sound okay. So, whenever you guys are ready.
Well, we will all go into hiding and leave it to you, Alan. Give me one second here.
assuming that I'm live right here because I'm just a little picture on my screen. I'd like to welcome everybody here to my music room. I'll be showing you some artwork that was done for the foundation a little bit that we're going to put up for auction or raffle, or just flat out you want to get it. Original drawings of Daddy John, as Mary likes to call him. And I'm going to play you another tune right now, and then what I'm going to do that's a little different from the other shows is I'm going to break down some of this stuff and try to give at least what my insights are to playing, you know. So you can take it with a grain of salt, but I think, you know, I've been working on this stuff for a long time, and I've got a couple ideas that might help you play his stuff. So let's do this one here. Miss Collins weep, Miss Collins moan, see her son Louis leaving home. You know the angels laid him away. The angels laid him away. Laid him 6 feet under the clay. You know the angels laid him away. Well, Barney shot once, and Collins shot two. Shot 'em now through and through. You know the angels laid him away. The angels laid him away. Laid him 6 feet under the clay. You know the angels laid him away. Now don't you know that it's mighty hard to see him carted to that new graveyard. The angels laid him away. Not sure if it's true, but I heard it said that all them pallbearers was dressed in red. The angels laid him away. So that's Lewis Collins. There are many interpretations of that. And the way I think about John's music, I think I mentioned this to Val and Ben the other day, but I'm a classically trained musician. I went to college for music. So I have degrees in composition. I originally went as a piano major. So I use a lot of what I learned in my classical training. It's cross over into my guitar playing, which is definitely not classical in any way, and to interpret a lot of these songs. But I remember if there's any pianists out there, but if you can imagine, like, Beethoven has a lot of notes, Chopin, a lot of notes on the page. You could hit a wrong note, not a big deal. I kind of compare them in a way to Reverend Gary Davis. But Mozart is so simple and pure and clean, and any wrong note, any mistake really comes out. It's a lot harder to play in a lot of ways. And I kind of think of Mississippi John Hurt's music like that. I mean, there's a simplicity to it, but it's not as easy as it looks, and especially to get out the subtleties. So what I say in like all the country blues players is focus on the middle strings, the middle voices, because we usually hear the melody and we'll usually hear the bass. But when you're practicing, like, practice smart, learn how to learn, and pay attention to the smallest details. So that's a general overview of the way I think of his music. So let me try this one. Nobody's dirty business how my boy treat me. Nobody's business but my own. Ain't nobody's doggone business how my baby treat me. Nobody's business but my own. Hey there, baby, did you get that letter? You take me back, I'm gonna treat you better. Nobody's business but my own. Ain't nobody's doggone business my baby treat me. Nobody's business but my own. Nobody's business but my own. Ain't nobody's dirty business how my baby treat me. Nobody's business but my own. Nobody's dirty business. Well, at least I don't hear any booing, even though I don't hear any applause. It's kind of strange playing live with no reaction. Okay, so another thing as far as practicing and playing, Mississippi John Hurt stuff or any of the country blues stuff, I really suggest once you get it under your fingers a little bit, so to speak, the chords and stuff, like change the tempos of what you're playing. Like, it might be a quick tune, well, try to play it really slow. I mean, like ultra slow. If it's a fast, slow tune, try to play it faster. Like that tune right there, if I was to change it, play it. Changes the entire personality, but I'm still playing the same notes. My right hand is still attacking the strings the right way, and that's another thing to remember. It's a percussive instrument. I mean, you have to hit the strings, and you really need to grab them with Mississippi John Hurt's music. And nobody's hand's the same, so I'm not saying conform to me, but if you look at photos of any of those or videos, if they're out there, of any of the country blues guys, they're using a lot of flesh from the thumb. So that's how they get that big bad sound in that. So let me see, I got another tune for you. Okay, so let me see if I can handle Staggerly. To me, it's one of the harder tunes just because of endurance. You have to keep that bass just going. There's no place like really for a rest. And another interesting thing that I found out about this tune, it's basically a 12-bar blues, but he takes a measure, he extends a measure of the 4 chord, and he takes it back with the 1 chord, which is very unique in a lot of ways. So let me see if I can handle this tune for you. Oh, this officer, how can it be you can't arrest everybody? But Stagger Lee's a bad man. Stagger Lee. Lord, he cries out, please don't take my life. I got me 2 little babies and a loving wife, but he's a bad man. Stagger Lee says, what I care about your babes or your wife. You done stole my Stinson hat. For that you're gonna pay with your life, 'cause I'm a bad man. Stagger Lee. Boom, 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 with that 44. Billy DeLoy is lying dead on the barroom floor, 'cause a bad man named Stagger Lee. Well, gentlemen of the jury, what do you think about that? Stagger Lee done killed a man for a $5 hat. He's a bad man. Stagger Lee said, well, 12 o'clock, they hanged him way up high. You know, he's all happy to see that bad man die. He's a bad man. Oh, Stagger Lee. Oh, this officer, how can it be you can't arrest everybody? But Stagger Lee, he's a bad man. Stagger Lee. Stagger Lee. And I made it through. Another thing that I learned in playing classical piano is you need to find times to rest. You need places to rest. And if you're playing a huge, classical piano piece and it's a half hour long, you just can't get up and walk around. I mean, even in between movements. And when you're playing fingerstyle blues, at least for me anyway, with John Hurt stuff, where you're really holding a chord down for a long time and making little movements, you have to learn like when to release, the energy, and when to take a mental rest as well as, a physical rest. Because if you're playing for long periods of time, at least for me, it can become taxing, in a way. So that's an important thing to, practice or to think about. Because whenever I ask any of my students, like, what makes a great player great, it's that they pay attention to the smallest details. And rhythm is one of those details. And if there's anything that you can do to feel subdivisions in what you're playing, meaning the beat that's beneath what you're tapping your foot to, that's a big deal, because that will help you make sure that the music comes across more like the artist wanted it to. And I don't believe in like tribute bands or like that you're trying to play like Valerie said, like you're never gonna, let alone sing like Mississippi John Hurt. You're never gonna play exactly like him, or if it's Reverend Gary Davis or Son House or Robert Johnson or any of those guys. But I really suggest that you try to analyze and learn the style, and that's how I teach, the country blues stuff. Is if you want to learn Reverend Gary Davis, then you're wearing picks, thumb pick and an index finger pick, and you learn how he approaches his chords and like the Davis roll and that stuff. And with Mississippi John Hurt's music, it's kind of the same thing. It's how you get that thumb going, that you really get that going across. It's off the beat there, and that no matter what you're doing on that, it's there. So besides his alternating bass stuff, there's a little trick that I do every now and then, and it's like where I'll have the bass, particularly with the G chord. So for you guitar players out there, just playing the alternating bass, so can, I don't want to say become monotonous, but he mixes it up a little bit. So whenever he plays a C chord, Mississippi John Hurt, that is, it's usually a 5-4-6-4 type bass. And sometimes he'll walk up with that open A. So 5-4-6-5, like that. But what's really cool, and he doesn't do this, but I'll show it to you, is I'll sometimes on the G chord go 6-5-4-6-5-4-6-4. So I know this is a lot of technical stuff, and I'll get back to playing tunes. But it just really breaks up the monotony, if there is any monotony, to the alternating bass. It's not so much, monotony isn't the correct term, but it adds a new element, something fresh. So that'll be like 8 notes, so it'll take the place of whenever the G chord is in the key of C, or whenever you need to play it. So right now I would like to, this is like the Channel 13 shows where they play, you'll turn in and tune in and you'll see there's like live concert or something, footage you never saw, and then all of a sudden they cut away and try to sell you the CD. Well, this is where we are here. So I'm very small. These are original drawings by Janice Becker, and we have 4 of them. And Mary is getting first dibs on one, but the other 3 are going to be up for either raffle, like maybe one for raffle. We haven't figured it out yet, but they are done, ready to go. And this money is all going to go to the foundation. And that's what this is really all about. At least for me tonight, is to promote the foundation. This one I love. I think that's Jan's favorite. These are one of a kind, and Jan will sign them. And I bet you, if I ask really nice, we can get Mary to sign these too. And this one I think is the one that she wanted, but I'm going to just take this moment in time to show these. And these, I'll take nice photos of these. They'll be up on the Facebook page. so you can peruse them. If you have any questions, you can contact us. Be more than glad to send you any photos. Those are like 18 by 24 frames right there, so that gives you an idea of the size of these. So since we were speaking of original artwork, I also strongly suggest, to help your playing of country blues music, Mississippi John Hurt's music, is to don't be afraid to come up with your own tunes. I mean, it's easier said than done, but if you base them off of an alternating bass and just add your little melody on top, whatever it is, you know, do a different progression, kind of make them your own. And I think it was 4 years ago now that I was down in Avalon at the festival, and I was working on a song, and I've since changed the lyrics up, but I'm going to give you an example, because this tune I actually wrote when I was down in Avalon. So it's kind of 50-50 between, you'll hear that there's a little thing, how there's an alternating bass that changes, so that's kind of my other influence, Davis. But so that's just one little thing on a C chord, if I could play it. And I think I came up with this as a practice exercise, and then it turned into a tune. So it's just an alternating bass and an alternating finger. Something as simple as that is harder than it looks in a way. You'll just take that right hand picking pattern, and then you're just going to change chords and try to keep that pattern going. And essentially, that's Mississippi John Hurt's style, is to change basically first position chords, 1, 4, 5. He'll throw in an extra chord now and then, but to keep that bass and just to keep the rhythmic flow going, and then you play a melody on top. And that's pretty much that. So I just wanted to play that for you to give you an idea of what you can do, and that, you know, if you're guitarists out there and listening, I mean, don't be afraid to just take his style and try to make it your own in that regards. So, and I am primarily a pick player, so because my fingers just get worn out. So where we are on the list here? Okay, we have we didn't do Creole Belle yet, right? Let me take a sip of this. I loved her well, 'cause she's my baby, that Creole belle. I loved her well, 'cause she's my sweetheart, that Creole belle. Cause she's my baby, now you know it's true. She's my sweetheart, through and through that Creole belle. I loved her well, she's my baby, that Creole belle. Okay, so what else do I have here? Original is alright, cool. And I'll go back again to the foundation. If you ever get a chance to get down there and actually sit on the front porch and go in the church and just walk the grounds and visit, his grave marker. I mean, it's going to change you. I mean, especially if you love the music, that just to be there where part of history took place. And we want to keep that there. We want to keep it alive. And it's not easy, between developers and taxes and all this kind of stuff. I mean, not to mention just maintenance, and everything else. So please, if you can give, anything, whatever you can give, it's going to be really, really appreciated, and it's a tax write-off. So there you go. I don't know the numbers. I keep asking them and they tell me what it is, but yes, you can deduct it from your taxes. And then again, these drawings, those you can also deduct from your taxes because they're going to the foundation. And we'll show those again on the page, and you'll get to see those. So let me do Richland Women's Blues, which I believe is one of Mary's favorites. So, and this is one of the tunes where you could, sometimes I'll play this slow, and then other times I'll play it really quick. So probably be in the middle ground, but it kind of adds a completely different, obviously a different feel to it. And the thing that I really like about this song is that besides the alternating bass, he's got like single lick action going, like Mermaids Flirt With Me kind of thing, but he also has a stop bass where you can literally stop it and make a dramatic thing out of it. So hopefully I'll be able to do this for you right now. So here we go. Give me a little red lipstick and a bright poppy rouge and a single bob haircut and a shot of good booze. Hurry down, sweet daddy, come and blow your horn. If you come too late, your mama will be gone. I'm raring to go. Got new shoes on my feet. If you're looking for a ride in a rumble seat, a Richland woman says any dude will do. So hurry down, sweet daddy, come and blow your horn. If you come too late, your mama will be gone. If you come too late, your mama will be gone. And that's the Richland Women's Blues. All right, I think I'm running out of time here, but I'm gonna do another little bluesy thing to show you that how you can just take the alternating bass of Mississippi John Hurt and turn it into a very cool 12-bar blues. So if we're in E, I say 12-bar blues, I'm assuming everybody knows what that means. You know, 4 of the 1, 2 of the 4, 2 of the 1, 5, 4, 1, 5, something like that. Just makes me feel fancy if I can say those numbers. But simple E7th chord with a ham on the roll. But just to have that bass going. So any little chord that you want to do, if it's just a C chord or F, or just practice all of your first position chords, just playing a continuous alternating bass where you maybe flip the accent of the bass. So even right here in this little E thing, if I bring out the 6th string, right there, I hope you can hear that. Now I'm going to bring it out to the 4th string. Your practicing of playing an alternating bass is going to help you. So when you go to learn a song, and in my opinion, look, tablature is just the roadmap. It gets you there. You need to listen to his music, absorb whatever you can, and he will do certain things just like all the artists do over and over in different songs with just little subtleties. And then once you know, I know I'm kind of repeating myself here, but you want to learn the style. If you can learn the style of Mississippi John Hurt or Reverend Gary Davis or any of these people, it's going to make it so much easier for you to learn the songs and make them your own. You know, channel their music through you. Sorry, I had to take a sip there. So I'm going to end all of this now because we're pushing the hour here, and I've talked way too much. So I'm going to play You Are My Sunshine. And this is a good example where you can take any melody of any song and just try to put it over, you know, over top of another song. But when I play this, let's see if I can get it going. So I have the 6/4 bass going. Now here I'm going to show you. You guitar players, it goes to F. I don't know if you can see this, but if you 3rd finger on 5th fret, little finger on the 5th fret, and you have your 1st finger on the 3rd fret of the 3rd string, that's a 2nd inversion or 1st inversion of an F chord. You can use that in a ton of songs. I don't think Mississippi John Hurt does it, but you'll hear me when I'm playing it. It just keeps the F chord moving, and you can also, you're bringing the melody up to an A, which is part of the F. So let's see if I can get this going after all that. my sunshine away. Another night, dear, when I lay sleeping, I dreamed I held you in my arms. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. Ah, my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away.
Well,
I hope I didn't make too many mistakes throughout the
well,
night.
that thank you for sharing such beautiful songs with us, Alan.
Yes, thank you so much.
Truly my pleasure, and I hope that it wasn't that boring passing on some tidbits of information. And look, that's just the way I look at it. It doesn't mean it's etched in stone, but it's really helped me. It's not just about the technique of getting your the right hand technique is huge. Like we talked earlier, that's like 90%. When I'm teaching students, I mean, making the chords, the left hand is about 10% of playing any guitar music. Really, it's the right hand that makes it happen. But to work on that right hand, besides just working on the songs you're learning, because that sometimes just gets boring and can set you back, and you just get locked into a box. So, as you guys know, I mean, any way you can look at something from another angle or point of view is going to help you. You want to become a better musician. The better musician you are, then the better guitar player you'll be, the better piano player, however you want to put it. And you know what?
Somebody must have told you to end with one of our favorite songs, and one day we'll tell you a fun story about something that happened relating to that song.
Absolutely.
Story for another time.
And you know what else will make you a better musician? Is if you give generously to the foundation. I promise you that you will become a better musician.
Well, we thank you so much
Swear to God.
for this evening's concert.
You're very much welcome. And the artwork, I'm sure, we'll get that up on the Facebook page and the website and all that good stuff. And then if anybody's interested, contact us. But we have a couple of pieces that are really nice that we need to get into somebody's home that's going to really enjoy them. And a big fan. And I said they autographed, and I don't know if Mary's still up there, but I'm sure we can get her to to sign one of those for somebody too, to make it even extra.
Thank you so very much.
Before you go, please tell us about some of the musical things that you're working on.
Well, what I'm primarily, I'm relearning piano. Let's put it that way. I mean, I used to be able to really play piano, and then I kind of put it on the back burner for years, but I've come across some piano students, so I'm kind of like getting my piano chops back together. And it was funny because I figured over the pandemic, I mean, as terrible as it was and still is with us, I figured, this will be a great time to write. I'll write all this stuff, and I didn't write a damn thing until about 3 months ago. Then I wrote my first, song through the pandemic. So I'm hoping to, to get into a studio. Last night when I played out, I got a new student at I'll say Sing Sing Kill in Ossining. It's a little microbrewery, and there were 2 people that asked me to record with them that are doing recording. So that was really exciting, after they heard me play.
Great.
in that regards. And I'm just trying to like well, you know how hard it is to just to keep your repertoire up. I mean, you think, well,
Just practice.
yeah, it's just and you know what though? I don't even like to use the term practice. I just say like play. I always tell my students when you sit down to play, I don't care what it is, pretend you're looking out at the seats at Carnegie Hall and get your game face on, because it's very a lot of people that I know just look. I was nervous, tonight about playing, and I've known these songs forever, and I made some mistakes. That's life. You just
Well, we enjoyed your music this evening, and we hope to have an opportunity to see you soon, okay?
absolutely we will. And and everybody don't forget next week. I
We'll
think
tell them about next week in just a second, but
Yeah.
we're going to stuff you back in the green room right now.
and remember,
Thank
it's
you again.
It's Mozart blue. That's the color. So back in the blue room.
Okay, here you go, back in the blue room.
Take care.
Take care.
Well, just as a reminder, this concert series is supported and sponsored by the Mississippi John Hurt Foundation, which is a 501c3 nonprofit. The foundation appreciates donations through PayPal at paypal.me/MS John Hurt Foundation. And for your convenience, that link is listed in the live stream description. It's also pinned in the comments of the live stream, and we encourage you to donate if you can. These much needed funds help with the preservation and restoration of John Hurt's home, as well as the St. James Church where he worshiped.
Yeah, so that's all we have for you this evening. We hope that you enjoyed the music and that you'll join us next week, next Saturday, October 23rd, when we'll have the pleasure of presenting our good friend and Valerie's favorite cousin, John Tavius Willis.
John Tavius is a force to be reckoned with in the blues arena, and his talent stretches well beyond his young years. His is not a concert to miss, so please tune in right here at 7 p.m. Eastern next Saturday. And then the Saturday after that, when we have the finale concert, it'll be the last one in the series, we look forward to presenting our very good friend, Phil Wiggins. And we'll tell you more about him next week. So until then, be safe, be well, and most of all,
Be kind.
be kind.
Thank you. Bye-bye.